Ah, the Big Apple. If you can make it there, you bought a ticket to go there. In a town as democratic as New York, the big fight in the mayoral race has been the Democratic primary. So next week, the greatest city in the world will be taking to the polls for the nigh on impossible task of replacing the best mayor they've had since Michael Bloomberg. And we thought we'd help New Yorkers navigate their ranked choice ballot in a game we like to call Now You're in New York. The subway rats just might eat you if you are a short gay Jew. Now you're in New York. Here to play is Katherine. Katherine, I chose not to sing it.
I think that's fair.
Made a decision.
I think that's valid.
Katherine, are you in New York City right now?
I am in New York City, yes.
And are you planning to, or have you already, are you planning to vote, or have you already voted in the New York mayoral primary?
I am planning on voting. I have not yet voted. The way this race has been going, I'm like worried somebody's going to, I don't know, like punch a baby or something after I vote,
Okay.
So.
Have you made up your mind yet?
More or less. I know my number
okay.
one. I don't know. I have like an idea of the next four, but I don't know exactly the positioning, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's wild. Here's how this quiz works. I'm going to share something that a mayoral candidate did that a voter might want their mayor to do. All right. You're going to have to tell us which candidate. At the end, you'll tell us if it's affected your decision. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. Call Donald Trump fat.
We don't need to fat shame. There's enough issues with Donald Trump.
Fair enough. Who said it?
No idea.
It was Andrew Yang.
Of course
Once
it was.
complained about Andrew Yang, but I'm famous too. They recognize me too. Who said it?
Eric Adams.
Nope. It was Scott Stringer. Who called Bill de Blasio the best boss?
Maya Wiley?
Correct. Posted pictures of the refrigerators in his homes to brag about his vegan diet, and then blamed his son when people pointed out that there were non-vegan food items in the fridge.
Eric Adams.
I don't think that was his real apartment.
No. I mean, everyone did like a deep dive, and those were like his son's shoes. He had that like beautiful poster that looked like he'd stolen it from a middle school.
Who once said they fell in love with garbage?
Garcia.
That's Katherine Garcia, former sanitation commissioner. For the last 24 years, this candidate has ended every day by journaling about all their failures and shortcomings and then addressed themselves in the third person so they could more easily handle their own self-criticism.
Eric Adams?
Correct. Included attracting TikTok hype houses to New York as part of their platform.
Yang.
Yep, you got it. Called Stop and Frisk a great tool.
Eric Adams?
Correct. Bought his tickets to Fast and Furious 9 the second they became available.
Donovan?
Ray McGuire. That's funny, though. Could have been John Donovan. Could have been John Donovan. I saw Fast 7 with Barack Obama, he said. Thinks restaurants should get a heads up before a health inspection.
Garcia.
Okay, listen, here's the thing. Katherine.
Yeah.
Why do we think Katherine Garcia said that? I find that, look, I'm not a New York City voter, all right? But I am a one-issue voter, and I understand the hardship. I want restaurant business to work in New York, but I also want surprise inspections. Has she adapted on this at all? Has she recanted this at all?
I don't know. That was a wild moment of the first debate. I'm a waitress, and I also think we should have surprise inspections. It's not like my favorite moment when like people start screaming and losing their shit, but you know, it's important. It's important for us to have that.
Yeah, I just think people are people, you know? Like, I just know that like I had classes when I was in school, like if some of the teachers do pop quizzes, you're more prepared when the teachers do pop quizzes. You know, it's just human nature.
My favorite moment during an inspection, this happened in New Jersey, but I had a boss that was like, take all of the iced tea and put it in the office. They're not allowed to go in the office. And I was like, why are we locking up the iced tea? And she's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just lock up the iced tea.
What was wrong with the iced tea?
We'll never know. I never even served the iced tea there. I don't know why. She was an experience, but I mean, so many restaurant managers are.
I'm trying to guess what your number one, your number 2, and your number 3 are. Can I guess?
Please go for it.
So you've decided on your number 1, you're not sure on number 2, and you're not sure on number 3. Is that right?
I have a plan. I just don't know. Like, I know who I'm voting for. I just don't know in which order, if that makes sense. But I know who my number one is.
Here's my guess on your order. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Wiley, Garcia, Morales.
No to Garcia, but yes, I volunteered for Morales before her like campaign, imploded. Yeah. I had a lot of fun actually, like talking to voters in Union Square. My favorite people are like 70-year-old New Yorkers, where you can tell they've lived in the city for 30 years, who just like make a beeline to you, and they're like, "All right, give me your 30-second elevator pitch, go," or like, no bullshit. They're like, "This is my number one issue. Talk to me." I'm just like, okay, great. Please,
who's the person I'm missing?
I'm not like in love with Sean Donovan. I think he's gonna make my top three just because I like agree with him on more policy than I do with Garcia. Like Garcia in the debate last night listed like defund the police as one of her as like a stupid idea of one of her opponents, and I'm just like, like, no thank you. I don't feel like we have a lot of great options.
So here was my theory on your voting. Here was my theory, which is that you're a Wiley number one, that's done. Lock that's that correct. In.
Yeah,
now you're being strategic in your twos and your threes, and you're thinking about who's going to be the most likely to rise to the top. So that was where my theory was. Katherine, you've won the game.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for playing. And now good luck with the game that is your ranked choice ballot. And very exciting to see how this chaotic primary ends up.
I'm so worried. I've been following this so extensively, and I'm just like, I'm a waitress and not a political analyst. I'm one woman doing my best, and I have no fucking idea, You know
what?
What?
Some of the best things that have ever happened in this place happened because of one woman doing her best.
Well, thank you.